Cool. All right, so once you've got your props, we're going to start lying down on the mat. And just take your strap or belt or whatever you're working with you. And bring the blocks to the front of the mat so that they're there in a minute. Or your cushion or whatever it is that you're going to be using. And I will just mute you guys. Okay. So just getting settled onto your back. Making sure you've got some space behind you, enough to reach your arms behind your head. And you can start with the legs straight, or if it's uncomfortable for the back, obviously just keep the knees micro bent. And just start by loosely placing both hands for me on the belly, fairly low down. Allow yourself to take the first few moments here. Just to settle into the space. To settle into your body and start to make that connection between how you're mentally feeling and how the body is responding. If the legs are straight, perhaps noticing if you're trying to control the ankles or if you've allowed them to relax and the feet to fall out. If the knees are bent, perhaps see if it's more comfortable to bring the feet together and let the knees fall wide. And just start to notice where the breath moves. Working this evening onto shoulder mobility. And looking at how the body regularly compensates for a lack of shoulder mobility within your yoga practice. As always, if I give something as a suggestion or a guide, please by all means wave at me if it's not something that fits your body or your practice. But start to deepen the breath with the hands resting on the belly as you inhale. Imagine trying to press the belly slightly up into the hands. And as you exhale, notice as the hands hopefully lower back down. Inhaling, start to expand the belly. And exhaling it back down. With your next inhale, move the hands slightly higher for me and bring them around to the outside of the body. And as you next inhale, I want you to imagine, as you did before, gently expanding the belly. And now imagine trying to make those hands move apart. Really cause the hands to expand, invite the ribs to really fill the space along the side of the body. Perhaps start to notice if one hand is moving more than the other. Taking one more deep breath cycle, trying to really send the hands apart, really fill the width of the body. And then slowly move the hands. So if you've noticed that one side of the rib cage was not moving as much as the other, perhaps leave the hand on that side. And just bring the other hand to rest on the belly. If both sides of the body were moving in unison, by all means bring both hands onto the belly, entirely up to you. And continuing to breathe, and this time as you fill the width of the body, I want you to imagine shifting the focus into the upper back, so the back of the body, as if you're trying to lift yourself up and off the back. And as you exhale, soften, let the air come all the way out. So we're inhaling down into the belly, up into the width of the body, up into the upper back. And exhaling all the way back down and out. If you kept one hand on the side of the body, really try and breathe into that hand. Two more breath cycles, make them big, make them full. Good, release the hands down by the side of the body, turning the palms up and just taking 3 more breath cycles in that manner, noticing whether it's any different without the hands resting on the body to remind you. On your third exhale, whenever that happens for you, I'd like you to gently start to pull the toes towards each other slightly. So we're aiming to have the toes basically pointing straight down. Good. Okay. Inhale, reach the right arm up towards the ceiling. Turn the palm in. And then I'd like you to inhale again and pull the fingertips straight up. So you're lifting the shoulder blade, scapula off the mat. And as you exhale, lower the arms straight back down. Almost pulling the shoulder blade behind you as much as you can. Inhale, draw the fingers up. Trying to track through one line. Exhale, draw the shoulder back, hug the shoulder blade underneath. One more time. Inhale, reach the fingers up. Up, 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 up. And exhale. Arms softens. Good. Turn the palm away from you. We're going to allow the back of the hand to come down behind us, but keep the shoulder blade where you just put it, hugging behind the body. And you'll probably notice by keeping that shoulder blade engaged, your arm might not actually drop as comfortably to the back, to the floor. So keeping that palm facing up towards the ceiling. Good, relax the shoulder blade, allow the hand to come all the way down. Good. Engage the shoulder blade, hug it in behind you, let the hand lift. And then draw the arm up and down by your side. Swapping over, bring the left fingertips up towards the ceiling, palm faces in. Making sure the fingertips are stacked straight over the elbow, elbow over the shoulder. And same again, as you inhale, reach the fingers up, 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 pull the shoulder blade off, round the shoulder, and exhale, pull the shoulder blade back and behind. Inhale, reach the arm up. Exhale, reach it down and back. One more time, inhale, come up. Exhale, down and back. Good, so turning your palm to face the back of the mat. Front of your mat. And then squeeze that shoulder blade behind you like it was and try and bring the arm behind you. And just notice when you start to feel restriction. So the palm faces up. Take one more full breath cycle here. And then relax the shoulder blade, allow the arm to come all the way back. Good. Re-engage shoulder blade, allow the hand to lift. Reach the arm up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, bring it down by your side. Okay, reach both arms up overhead. Palms face towards each other. We're just going to do this once. As you inhale, reach the fingertips up towards the ceiling, round the shoulders. Lift them as high as you can, as if you're trying to peel the whole of the upper back off the mat. Good, and then exhale, pull the shoulders back, hug the shoulder blades underneath. Good, immediately notice when you hug the shoulder blades underneath now what's going on with the rib cage at the front of the body. Has it started to expand? And see if you can start to tuck the pelvis underneath. If you're not sure how to do that, bend the knees and plant the feet, and the pelvis will naturally tuck under slightly. Good, nice Sam. Keeping the ribs engaged at the front of the body, turn the palms so that you drop the arms behind you, shoulder blades actively pulling towards each other, the palms will face up. Notice the ribs at the front of the body. Now you're keeping them active. You'll probably notice the arms go even, well, higher. They don't go as low. Good. Take another deep breath. As you exhale, soften the shoulder blades. Notice the rib cage. Try and hold onto that at least. Allow the arms to go a little bit further back. Hold again. Let the rib cage flare. Soften the arms all the way back. Good, so we're going to repeat that coming the other way. So first things first, draw the rib cage in. Notice the tension that starts to build in the backs of the arms, the lats, back of the shoulders, all the way down the upper and perhaps middle back. And then slowly start to draw the shoulder blades together. Notice what happens to the arms, probably coming even higher again. And then slowly bring the arms all the way up and bring them down by your side. Good. If you haven't bent the legs, gently start to bend the legs and plant the feet down. We're just going to move the pelvis a little bit just to really understand that rib abdominal extension at the front. Take a really deep breath in, and I want you to push your bum down into the mat. Allow the ribs to flare up. Create loads of space underneath the low back. And then as you exhale, I want you to push your low back down towards the ground. You'll feel the pelvis tilt the other way, and you should notice the ribs start to draw in. Maybe bring the hand onto the ribs for the next one. Notice what changes. Inhale, push the hips down. Arch the back. Exhale, push the hips the other way. Press the low back down, let the ribs draw in. One more time. Inhale, push down, let the ribs flare. Okay, keep the arch in the back. Try and draw the rib cage in a bit. Good, so we're bracing through the front. And then slowly keep that brace. And just gently tuck the pelvis slightly so we're not pressing the low back down. We've still got space at the back, just not as much. This is what we're aiming for in yoga when we talk about having a neutral back. It's more making sure the ribs are drawn in and down. So we're using the breath, we're filling into the belly, we're filling into the width of the body as opposed to just breathing into the chest here. Okay, draw the ribs in towards the chest. Gently start to rock left and right. Good, so really squeeze the knees in now towards the chest. Notice if one foot slides in front of the other. It's always mindful. Always good to be aware of the feet. And then slowly start to rock up and down along the spine. All the way up, all the way down. And eventually come to find a seated position. Okay, if you're able to sit on the heels, come and sit onto the heels. If that doesn't suit you for any reason, you're welcome to sit cross-legged or find any other position that will work. We're not going to be here for too long, but understand everybody is different. Okay, take a hold of your strap or whatever it is you're working with tonight. Here's the exercise no one enjoys. Okay, bring the strap out in front of you. You want to make it quite wide to begin with. Sorry, Matt. So first things first, we're going to pull the shoulder blades behind us and then pull them down slightly. As you lead with this, people always tend to lead with the hands and the wrists. I want you to imagine leading up with the elbows. So it's the elbows, the micro bent, and it's the elbows that are lifting us up. Notice the ribs. When you get to this point, the body instinctively wants to go here. Let the elbows lead. Keep the ribs in. Elbows are what squeeze us behind and down. Don't let the ribs flare out. Good. Keeping the ribs engaged. So same again. Elbows are what's going to lead us up. Notice at the top of the movement the way the body wants to draw, and then draw it down in front. If that was relatively comfortable, you're welcome to walk the hand in a bit. If that was ghastly, stay where you are or make it wider. Oh, Sam, you've got a stretchy band. You're going to get away with this a little bit lighter. Yeah, I know. Okay. Maybe walk your hands in a little bit more, Sam, so you've got a bit more resistance on that. Okay. Make sure the ribs stay tucked. When you're ready, bring the strap up. Again, elbows lead. Elbows micro bend, allow the strap to come down behind, but again, the elbows are leading that movement. Good. To come up, elbows point back and start to lift up. And forward. Good. One more time. Elbows bend, lift them up, let them lead, and draw behind. Got Matt, nice. Okay. As you come back up, Matt, I want you to imagine pointing your elbows up a bit. Rather than having them point down, I want you to elbows go up, lead with the elbow. Good. And let him come down. Nice, Sam. Good. Okay. Release the strap. No one likes it. Bring the hands out in front of you. Find your way into an all fours position. We will come back to the strap, but not quite yet. Okay. So bring in the hands, fingers spread really wide apart, knees as always underneath the hips. Coming onto the top of the feet, and just notice whether that means that you instinctively roll the heels in and you're actually only on the top of the big toe, and instead see if you can ground all the toes. Good. Noticing the low back, noticing whether the rib cage kind of expands as you breathe, and see if you can hug it in. So again, we're finding that form. And just take a few breaths, coming back into that belly width breath. As you inhale, imagining you're breathing down into the belly, into the width of the body. One more big breath. Good. And we're going to move through a cat-cow, paying a bit more attention to the shoulders perhaps than normal. So making sure again that you're on the top of all the toes. As you inhale, drop the belly down. Sam, I love that you have to check. Lift the gaze up. Okay. We want to make sure that in the line of the elbow, the eye of the elbow, faces inwards here. Good. And then I want you to pull the hands back towards you. So as the hips go up, the hands pull back. So you're really spreading the collarbones wide. Good. And then as you exhale, push the hands down. Round the shoulders first. Breathe up into the upper back, then round the rest of the back. Gaze back at the belly button. Good. Inhale. Drop the belly down. Hips go up. Pull the shoulder blades back. Lift the gaze and then pull the hands back. Nice. One more time. Exhale. Push down. Round all the way up. Exhale. Move the spine, the shoulders the other way. Good. Come to find that neutral position again. Spine is straight, rib cage hugs in. And we're just going to drop the scapula down into that space. We'll do the first two quite slowly, and then we're going to build up a little bit more mobility if it's in your practice. If it's not, just stay nice and slow and controlled. So we're going to start by simply dropping the chest down as if the arms were frozen. The arms are frozen straight. You can't bend them. You want to draw the shoulder blades together. And the back stays straight. It's a really weird move. And then push the hands. Spread the shoulder blades apart. Keeping the back long. Drop the chest through the space. Good. Matt, just watch the neck. You tend to drop the head at the same time. That's it. And then push down and go the other way. Nice, one more time, same thing. Imagine the crown of the head still pulling forwards. We're not dropping the head. That's it, good. And then push down, ground. Good, come to find a neutral position. Yeah, wiggle it out by all means. If the hands are a bit sore, by all means shake them out or find a different position with the hands. We're going to bring the right arm behind us. Palm faces in towards. Immediately notice whether A, you've shifted onto the left side, B, whether the spine is kind of given way. Draw the ribs in. Good. Turn the palm down. Reach the arm all the way out to the side. Bring the hand towards the ear. Good. Now turn the palm up towards the ceiling. Keep the head where it is. Try and bring the arm up closer to the ear. Higher, 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 higher. Good. And then turn the palm down. Sweep the arm all the way back alongside the hip. And plant the hand back down. Good. Swap sides. So pick up the left hand. Again, bracing through the rib cage. Turn the palm down. Sweep the arm out to the side and forward. Turn the palm up. Don't drop the head down to meet the arm. Bring the head up to a neutral position and then bring the palm up. Take one more deep breath. Go down a little bit higher. Yes. And then exhale. Turn the palm down. Reach the arm back. Plant it back down. Okay. Sit back. Shake out the wrist for a second. Okay. So we're going to use your blocks if you have them, cushion if you haven't. So just bringing them out in front of you. So we see this quite a lot in yoga. We come into extended puppy, and I teach it too, where we come here and I see yoga students kind of go flat, and then, you know, it's like there's no engagement here and there's no stretching going on either. So I'm what you would call a bendy, well, a flexible, tight person, as in all my joints are really flexible, but my muscles are super tight. So I can jump all day long. I feel nothing, no stretch, no sensation. I can, you know, like nothing, no stretch. Blocks. I'll join you in the world of how it normally feels for most people. Bring the elbow onto the block. Both elbows. And then we're going to drop the hips back. Hands come directly onto the shoulder blades. And we're going to stay here and breathe. Yeah, cushion's fine, Sam. Yep, that's it, nice. Good. So as per always, you're trying to allow the shoulders and the chest to soften down into that space. And again, being mindful of the hands, notice if one hand finds it harder to stay on the shoulder blade and starts to wing in or out. Notice how much of this is now coming from the ribs. And again, see if you can hug the ribs in, slightly tucking the pelvis, not overdoing it. You want some flexibility. But notice the intensity of the shoulder stretch, the shoulder opening perhaps changing once you hug the ribs in. 3 more breath cycles. Okay, coming out with this is almost as important as going in. Start to push down with the elbows. Lift yourself up, straighten the arms down. Use the hands to push you back. We're going to find a child's pose, so come all the way back, arms down by the side of the body. If that's not comfortable, just cactus the arms, relax the head down. Take one more full breath cycle. Then slowly bring the hands forward. Tuck the toes underneath. Okay. We're going to push back into our first downward facing dog in a second, and we've revised this a few times, but just to make sure that we're all kind of working with the same body patterns, we want to bend the knees, send the hips up, but where most of us can go kind of here, or we can lock out the elbows to push harder through the hands, I want you to micro bend the elbows. Wrap the elbows out and underneath, so you roll the shoulders out, and then imagine that your thumbs were wrapping in. So if I was to draw arrows, Matt, basically there would be an arrow here rolling this way. So if my elbow sort of halfway down my forearm, it would roll internally onto my thumb and first finger, but my upper arm wants to wrap out. It's a, yeah. Nice, Sam. Can you micro bend the elbows a bit? Yeah, I know, it feels horrible. There you go. That's it. That's better. Good. Much more space. And then can you push a little bit harder with your right arm? But don't lock out the elbow. Just push harder through the hand. Good. That's it. Nice, Matt. Matt, you're dumping a little bit into the shoulders. Can you actually lift the chest up a bit? Yeah, perfect. That's it. Good. And then just draw the ribs in. Yes. Okay. Take one more deep breath cycle there. And then as you exhale, slowly start to walk the feet forward towards the hands. Good. Inhale, draw the hands halfway up the shins when you're ready. Straighten the legs, straighten the back, lengthen the neck. As you exhale, bend the knees, fold the body, come all the way down. Relax the head. And again, inhale, straighten the legs, hands up the legs. Exhale, bend and fold. Inhale, straighten the legs, lift. Exhale, bend the knees, fold. Plant the hands down, and I'd like you to step your left foot right to the back of the mat and drop the back knee. Untuck the back toes. Sounds going across. Start to shuffle the front foot forward. Notice whether the knee is coming past the ankle, and obviously, as always, try and make sure the knee and ankle stay in line. Bring yourself up. Okay. If this is horribly uncomfortable for you to stay in a lunge, tonight's focus for now is not going to be this shape. So if you would rather take a shorter stance while we work on the upper body, entirely your call. I'll leave it with you. I'm probably going to be here because my bendiness doesn't need extra more time. Okay, we're going to reach the arms up. Turn the palms in for now, and just again notice the rib cage. Tendency will always be to start to open here. Try and hug it in. Try and tuck the pelvis underneath. Good, and then we're going to cactus the arms down to about shoulder height. Okay, I want you to bend at the elbows so the hands come behind the head. What you're going to want to do here is exactly what I'm doing. You're going to stick your chin forward because it makes the hands stay further away. Pull the chin back, create a double chin, and then try and pull the hands out away from the back. Fingertips as close together as you can get them. Good, bring the fingertips away. Turn the hands forward and down. So you look like you're about to do a robot dance, but we won't. We're going to bring both hands towards each other, the back of the body. Again, keep them away from the back. Temptation here now is to roll the shoulders forward because that gives us more space. Roll the shoulders back first, and then try and pull the hands away. Keep pulling them out. Sam, you can do this kneeling if you like, if the knees aren't cooperating. Or seated. One more breath cycle. Release the hands. Bring them up one more time. Ribs in. Bring the hands behind the head. Create a double chin. Pull the hands away from the head. Keep pulling the hands towards each other and pull them apart. Go a little bit closer with the fingers, maybe they touch, try and pull them back. Good, open the arms. Turn the hands down. Squeeze the shoulders behind you first, bring the fingers in, and then try and pull them off the back. This doesn't get easier no matter what your range is. This always feels horrible. Keep trying to bring the hands higher up the back and keep pulling them off. Good, release the arms, shake them out. Plant the hands, bring the front foot back. Okay, next up, chaturanga. So find your way into a kneeling position. Okay, I thought you got stuck there, Matt. Okay, we're gonna walk the hands forward, shift ourselves forward, and we're gonna tuck the pelvis under. So we're finding this nice long line from crown of head to knee. And again, we always tend to find that the head kind of goes soggy here, so try and retract the chin back. So we've got a nice long line, good. Okay, pelvis tuck under. We're gonna lower down through our chaturanga, elbows towards the back of the mat. Good, okay. Now what I always see in a yoga class, no matter whether someone's dropped their knees or not, is they push down with their hands and they do this. They come up into an upward dog instead of a low cobra. There's no engagement through the feet, there's no engagement through the legs, and you're probably pinching your low back. Options for this, one, go lower, take your ego out of it, hug the elbows behind you. By hugging the elbows, we start to engage the bigger muscles along the back of the body, your serratus and everything else, which is what we actually then need for downward dog. So try and hug the elbows in behind you as you lift up. Push down with the top of the feet, engage the legs, engage the glutes. Don't go so high. Lifting the head up. So again, the crown of the head is engaged here. Pull the hands towards you. Pull the shoulders down, elbows hug in. And then come down. Okay, I mean, my rule in a classroom is if someone's dropped their knees to the floor, they never find an upward dog. They would always be here, elbows hugging in, hands pulling back, lifting up with strength, pushing through the top of the feet, engaging the legs. That's as bad as high as we go. But the elbows make the difference. If the elbows are slightly lax, we're not engaging the right muscles. Hug them in, hug them in, hug them in. That's it, good. And then come down. Okay. If Matt or Sam, if you find yourself in a class and you've started to develop the strength, I'll show you now just so that if you get to that point and then we're not guiding you. Okay. If you find yourself in a class, pelvis is tucked, you're doing a normal chaturanga here, and the teacher says push up, upward dog, and you come straight here. A, my shoulders are forward, and B, I'm pushing up into my low back. I'm not finding a nice smooth line through my body. So if you're in that world, from your chaturanga, you're going to push the feet back, then slide forward. Pull the shoulders back. So actually the curve is coming from the top of my foot. My shins are off the mat, my thighs are off the mat, my hips come down, and I'm finding a longer line, and I'm not pinching my low back anymore. Just for when you get to that stage, most people will just push straight up, and it feels broken and horrible. Yeah, okay. Anyway, from there, tuck the toes, push back, find a downward facing dog. Okay, we're going to swap sides. So for you, that might mean bringing the left leg high and stepping it forward. It might mean dropping down onto the knees, walking the hands back, and just stepping the left foot forward from there. Entirely up to you how you want to arrive, but we're going to swap sides, so we've got the left leg in front of us. It's so hot in this conservatory. Okay, so same again. If you want the benefit of the lunge, move into the lunge. If you're okay without it for tonight, by all means, shorten the stance. We're going to do the same thing, but this time I want you to bring the hands up, and I want you to make fists. If the last exercise was horribly uncomfortable, see how you get on with the fists. If it's too much, by all means, open the hands. I want you to try and bring the fists towards each other. Let the head come forward first if you need to. Push the fists into each other, and then squeeze the elbows back as wide as you can, and then pull the head back, and then try and draw the fist away from the back of the head. Really press the fists in towards each other.
Good, release the pressure. Open the hands. Turn the hands down. Same again. So bring the hands into fists behind the body. Knuckles against each other first. Roll the shoulders up and back. Draw the ribcage in. Press the fists towards each other and then try and draw them off the body. And they might be really low to begin with. Maybe see if you can bend the elbows a little bit more as you become more comfortable with this. Push, 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 push. Release. One more time. Bring the arms up and behind the head. Make the fists, let the head come forward, push the fists, pull the elbows, and then put the head back. And try and pull the hands away. Good, release. Hands come down and behind us. Same. Push, make the fists, shoulders back, draw the ribs in. Good, and then pull the arms away. Notice every time you move the hands away, the shoulders keep coming forward to escape. Keep the shoulders back. Take one more breath in, watch the ribcage. Release. Bring the hands down. Tuck the back toe. Lift up the back knee and step the back foot to the front of the mat. Okay, inhale, lift halfway, find length. Exhale, bend the knees to fold. Inhale, lift halfway, find length. Draw the ribcage in. Exhale to fold. Okay, this time we're going to keep the knees bent. Sink the hips a bit lower. Bring the hands to begin with onto the thighs. Let's just set up the standing posture. So we're going to come into a chair pose. Make sure whether you have your feet together or apart is dependent on your hip stance and how your body feels. So I want you to imagine if the feet are apart, that they're pulling in towards each other. So you were trying to almost pull the edges of the mat in. So we wake up the arches of the feet and the inner thighs. Same, you want to imagine you're pushing the knees into imaginary block, or you can stick a block if you need it. Okay, start to lift the hands up. Sink the hips down enough to make sure you can see the toes, but you can't see your knees. Create a long line, crown down, so kind of like a lightning bolt. And then I want you to bring the arms up. This is typically cute, the palms facing each other, and I tend to find that people do it and they do here. And they say they're in their chair pose. I want you to bring your hands forward, turn the palms up, and pull the hands back. So you're really working into the upper back. We're not actively hanging out. Good, sorry Sam. Sink the hips a little bit lower. Keep making sure you can see the toes. Keep the hands pulling back to the ears, not the ears coming forward to meet the arms. Good, and then inhale, stand up. Ribs in. Exhale, release the hands. Tiny movements make you sweat. Okay. Inhale, bend the knees, find your way back into that pose on your own. So palms facing up. Chin pulls back into that delightful double chin. Pull the hands back. And then exhale, fold forward. Inhale to lift halfway, find length. Exhale, pull out the hands. Step the right foot to the back of the mat. Good. Ground the back foot down. Open yourself up into your first warrior two. So you're going to have your left foot in front. Okay, good. So warrior two, we've kind of done this one to death, so I won't spend too much time. Just imagine pulling the feet in. So you're imagining pulling opposite ends of the mat, hugging them in. So we're not just hanging out and all the energy is kind of, flailing out through the feet. Pull the energy up through the feet. Knee draws out. You know what I'm going to say. Bring the arms up. Okay. Take a deep breath here. Start to straighten the front leg. If you've locked it out, micro bend it, lift up the quad and the kneecap, turn the palms forward. Reach the front hand forward, drop the hand down. Notice the rib cage immediately opens here to find more space across the back of the body, ribs in. Back arm comes up towards shoulder height. This is a lazy posture. Push that top hand forward as if you're pressing into an imaginary wall. Fire up the upper back. Good, maybe you can drop the bottom hand a bit lower. Check that the hip is still over, the shoulders are still open. Push that top hand forward into your imaginary wall.
And then inhale, pull all the way back up. Good. Okay, don't hate me, take hold of your strap. If it helps, I really don't like what we're about to do either, but it is so useful. Okay, left hand goes up over the top, right hand comes underneath. Don't walk the hands closer together, it will be at your detriment. Okay, you want a good bend in both. So as you can see, like my shoulder, my elbow is kind of at head height. My bottom arm is pretty bent to 90 degrees too. Okay, now pull the strap away from the body. Good. Notice the rib cage, try and hug it back in. Then I want you to straighten the top arm, keep the strap off the body, let the bottom arm bend more. Straighten the bottom arm, top arm bends, keep the strap off. Straighten the top arm. Straighten the bottom arm. Okay, one more time. Straighten the top arm. Straighten the bottom arm. Good. Come to find a neutral position that you began with. Straighten the front leg, turn the foot in. Okay, notice my shoulder wants to roll in. Hug it in and back. Pull the strap away, rib cage in. Micro bend the knees, push the hips back, try and fold forward, keep the strap off the back. Keep the rib cage in, don't flare the back to allow yourself to ease it. Keep trying to pull that top elbow up. Good. Yeah, it's really horrible. Okay, come all the way up. Shake out the arms. Turn the left foot back towards the front. Carve the hands down. Turn onto the ball of the back foot. Step the front foot to the back of the mat. Good, and lower through your version of chaturanga, however that fits for you, come all the way down. Nice, Matt. Roll the shoulders back. Peel the chest open, open, open. That's it. Good. Nice. Cool. And then come to lie down with Daddy. Okay. Take a moment to pause. Bring the hands underneath the forehead. Allow yourself a minute to break. So when people tell me that downward dog or upward dog or warrior two are comfortable resting postures for them, I find them harder than an arm balance, to be honest, when I'm doing them properly. Every part of me hurts. Okay. I want you to find your block. I want you to bring it behind you. Sorry, Matt. Block or book or whatever you wear, to wait for your box of tissues. Okay. I want you to expose the fingers. Take a hold of your prop with just the heels of the hands. Well, the palm of the heels of the hands. Good. Start to press the hands in towards each other to begin with. Just feel the triceps start to fire up. And then release that pressure. This time we're going to press the triceps, well, press the hands in, start to extend the block, straighten the arms. You can keep it relaxing on the body for now, just straighten the arms as much as you can behind you. Good, and then relax. Okay, press the heels of the hands in. Try and straighten the arms and then lift the block off. Keep the head down. And relax. Relax the arms all the way off the body. Okay, we're going to do that 2 more times. This time also becoming aware of the front of the body. We're probably lying here flat, right? There's no engagement going on through the abdominals. I'm guilty of it too. Okay, so I want you to first of all slightly press down through the tops of all pen toes, lift the kneecaps off. Draw the rib cage in underneath. Okay, so the top of the feet are actively pressing, kneecaps have lifted. We're drawing in through the abdominals, so the rib cage is hugging in, and we've now created kind of a hollow back shape, there's space at the front of the body. Now bring the hands behind you, keep that pressure. Heels of the hands, palms of the hands, straighten the block down the body, and then try and lift it off. Squeeze the arms towards each other, keep that engagement, press the thighs down into the ground for dear life. Thighs push down, top of the feet push down, hips push down. Rib cage draws in. One more breath in. Exhale, release it all down. Get rid of your torture device. I'm not going to be mean, but I only did it twice. Okay, bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Tuck the toes. Push back. You can choose. You can take a downward facing dog if the wrists or any other part of the body is starting to say nope. You can take an extended puppy, just keep it active. Your choice. So again, if you're in a downward dog, making sure the elbows are micro bent, thumbs and first fingers are really actively pressing down. Relax the head a bit. Yep. And roll the shoulders out. Yes. Good. Take one more deep breath cycle. And then slowly, we're going to step the right foot forward. So you might raise the right leg up. You might drop down onto the knees and walk the hands back. And then step the right foot forward. Entirely up to you how you arrive. Okay, when you're ready, tuck the back toe underneath. Lift yourself up, ground the back foot, find warrior two on the other side. I'm going to turn around so I can face you guys. Good. Pull the energy in, bend into the front knee, use the glutes, open it up, open the arms. Good, start to straighten the front leg, keeping it slightly micro bent, lift the quads, turn the palms. Reach the front hand forward, notice the ribs, bottom hand comes down, top arm comes up. And again, we're really rolling that shoulder open and then push the hand forward into that imaginary wall. Nice, good straight lines, huh? Nice, Matt. And then slowly inhale, pull yourself all the way up. Take a hold of the strap. Don't pull that face. All right, bring the strap into the right hand this time. Right arm goes up and over, left arm comes down. I'll do it with you from the side so you can see I'm not cheating. Oh, okay. So you're sinking back down into the right knee, back into your warrior 1, 2 stance. First things first, roll the shoulders back and then pull the hands away. Good. Slowly start to straighten the top arm, bring the bottom arm up. Straighten the bottom arm, top arm bends down. Straighten the top arm. Straighten the bottom arm. Notice if that top elbow wings out to the side and the scapula goes with it. Try and keep it all tight. Top arm straightens. Bottom arm straightens. Come to find a neutral position. Straighten the front leg, turn the foot. Okay, you have choices. Option 1, try and fold forward again, keeping the ribs in, keeping the strap off, keeping that top elbow up by the ear. Option 2, because I know how horrible that is, take the strap, knuckles facing back. Again, we're going to micro bend the knees, ribs in, fold forward, bring the strap up. What I don't want to see is the elbows locked out and the strap coming all the way over, because then you've accomplished nothing. I want you to have the elbows bent, strap pulls up, shoulder blades squeeze together. Watch the elbows, Sam. Bend, bend, bend. There you go. Yeah. Feels really weird. Good. Keep imagining the elbows leading that charge. Keep folding forward at the hip. Nice, Matt. Good, Sam. Watch the elbows. And then slowly pull the strap all the way back. Come on.
Okay, hitch the strap. Turn the right foot, sink down into the knee, bring the arms back up, your warrior two. And I promise we're coming down to sit. Cartwheel the arms. Turn onto the ball of the back foot, sit the front foot to the back of the mat. Your choice of chaturanga, knees up or knees down. Lowering down. And then respecting the lift up, so pushing with all 10 toes. Shoulders roll back, elbows roll out and in behind you. Pull the ground towards you with the hands. Nice, good. One more breath in. Squeeze the elbows in and in and in, Matt. Good. There we go. And then come down. Good. Tuck the toes. Push back. Tabletop, or if you really want to, find your way into your last downward facing dog. Take one more deep breath in. If you're in a downward dog, find your way into a tabletop. If you're in a tabletop, I don't blame you. Find your way down onto one hip, so you come into a seated position. Okay, I promise we're not standing back up again. We're down and we're staying down. Okay, so we're going to do one exercise that will incorporate hips and shoulders. And again, please don't hate me for it. It's good for you. So option number one, left leg, right leg for you is extended. Left leg crosses over the top, stay here. Option number two, bend, bottom leg, we stay here. Make sure you're not sat on the foot. It's far comfier to sit on the foot. Option three, if you're a bendy wendy, you're welcome to come onto the top of the foot. The knees will not stack simply by grabbing the foot and pulling it down. Your knees are now not in line. You would need to bring your hands in front and slide the knees over each other so they now stack, so we're taking the pressure off the joints. Take what fits your body. Okay. I'm not there tonight. Okay, right. So making sure that both hips are fairly level. If you're completely cockeyed, i.e. this hip has so much room underneath it that you're not quite sure what to do with the space, bring your block or your cushion underneath your right hip, and it will actually help the left one naturally lower down to gravity. If the balance now feels like, whoa, I'm going to fall over, by all means straighten the bottom leg out. Take what works for you. Okay, so bring the arms out, turn the palms up. Sam, waiting on tables. Okay, cross the same arm as leg over the top. So I want you to bring your left arm over the top of the right. Bend the elbows. The most important thing is that the elbows stack. I don't care if your hands are here. Okay, if the hands come together, bring the backs of the hands together if you can, rather than trying to turn the wrists around. Regardless, keep the shoulders down. Try and raise the elbows up. Every inhale, try and raise the elbows a little bit higher, even if it feels like it's a millimeter. Keeping the hands squeezing towards each other as tight as they'll go. Good, Matt. Nice, Sam. Keep going a little bit higher. I know you can. And then as you exhale, Sam, I want you to try and pull those hands away from the face of it. Good. Don't let the elbows move. There we go. That's the face I was after. One more time. Inhale, go up. Exhale, pull hands up. Release the arms down. Drop the legs. If you need to move your block to the other hip, by all means move the block to the other hip. Okay, so again, make sure you're not sat on that foot. Let the hip try and drop into the space. Bring the arms out. Oh, God, this is painful. Okay, turn the palms up. This time I want you to bring your right arm over your left. Then the elbows. So again, we're going for the backs of the hands together, not the palms. Ooh, we found that stiff side. All right, keep the shoulders down. And again, elbows rise up. Every inhale, try and pull the elbows a little bit higher. Try and squeeze the hands towards each other. One more, go higher. Pull the hands out. Release. Come off your block. Good. Extend both legs out in front of you and just give them a bit of a wiggle. Okay. Last one. I'd like you to interlace the fingers. I thought you'd given up on me then, Matt. I thought you were just going to lie on your couch. That's it. I'm done. Turn the palms down and bring the hands behind you. Bear in mind, I am hypermobile, so for me, to have my hands tightly together and turn them down is no bother. If that's a trouble for you, bring the fingers further apart so you've got a looser clamp down. Okay, we'll runch our shoulders forward, try and roll them back, open up the chest, draw the ribs in. Okay, now I want you to wiggle the hips forward. Don't go too far, sensation will build. You do not need to go chasing after it with this one. Pull the chin back so you've got a nice long line. Try and breathe. Notice the rib cage. We always want to compensate and overarch into the back to get away from what we think is happening in the shoulders. Draw the ribs in. Keep trying to roll the shoulders back behind you. 2 more slow breaths. Breathe into the width of the body. One more big one. Good. Slowly start to bend the knees. Plant the feet down. The safest way of getting out of this actually feels backwards. So I want you to push with the hands, lift the bum towards the hands. You take the pressure off the shoulder joint first. Good. And then release the hands out, shake them out in front. Okay. Interlace the fingers, sit however you like. And just wave through. Big waves all the way up. Shoulders, elbows, wrists. Slow mat. Okay, and then go the other way. Why is it everyone really struggles with this? Going the other. Right, keep going, keep getting that elbow up. Rock your boot. Good. Bring the hands out in front of you. Turn the palm face away. Take hold of the fingers. Again, if you're in my world and your elbow now looks broken, just bend it. Pull the fingers towards you. Good. Shake it out, swap sides. So again, if you've overlocked the elbow, micro bend it. Shake it out. Good. Walk yourself forward. Roll back into the reason that everyone actually comes to yoga. Bring the knees in towards the chest. Plant the feet down. Draw the ribs in. We're just going to check the difference. So as you inhale, reach the arms up, fingers point high. Turn the palms towards the front of your mat. Retract the shoulders behind you. And slowly drop the arms back. Hopefully finding a difference from when you started, keeping the rib cage tucked, tucked, tucked. And then release the ribs, allow the hands to drop back. Engage the rib cage. Notice if the hands need to lift, draw the shoulder blades back. And then slowly bring the arms up. And bring the hands down by your side. Okay. You are welcome to finish in any way that fits your practice. It might be that you just want to bring the knees towards the chest and take another forward fold. It might be that you feel like you need to open, in which case you're welcome to drop the knees from side to side. You might just want to bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees fall out. If it's the low back that's a little bit uncomfortable, take the variation of anything that fits you to finish off the practice.
And it might be that you feel comfortable to just go straight to Shavasana, in which case you're very welcome to straighten both the legs down to the bottom of the mat. Let the feet fall out, let the ankles relax, bring the hands down by the side of the body, then gently draw the palms away. Wrapping the shoulder blades underneath you slightly, just expand through the front of the chest and then tuck the chin towards that chest. Allow the whole of the body to really just feel heavy. Allow yourself to settle back into the breath that your practice began with. Noticing the inhale where the belly expands, the ribs widen, the upper back fills with air. And as you exhale, perhaps gently opening the mouth and letting the air escape. Inhaling in your own time to fill the belly, spread the ribs wide. Opening the mouth, exhale it all back out. Just falling into your own natural breath pattern. Slowly start to move the fingers and move the toes. As you inhale, reach the arms up overhead and behind you, stretch yourself out. Gently start to plant the feet, bend the knees. And when you feel ready, rolling onto your right or your left side, curling yourself up, try to keep the eyes closed. And then slowly press down through the top hand, straighten the top leg, push yourself up to a seated position. Stack the vertebrae so you're sitting up nice and tall. Bring the hands to wherever they naturally rest. And take a really deep, full breath in. Breathe out. Fill the belly, width of the body, lift up into the top of the shoulders. Open the mouth, exhale it out. Inhale, fill the belly. Breathe into the width of the ribs, lift the shoulders, lift the upper back. Exhale it out. One more time. Inhale, breathe all the way up. Exhale, let it out. Take a moment to just sit with your breath as it naturally moves through the body. And slowly extend the arms out in front of you, rub the hands together to generate some heat. Bring the fingers over the eyes. Blink the eyes open behind the hands. Spread the fingers to their light back in slowly. And then when you feel ready, draw the hands down. Okay.